On this episode of Wolf Tracks, we'll lead you on an exciting journey around South Kitsap. First, we begin with preschoolers that start their education as they attend South Kitsap as wee wolves. We also have an update on the high school sub competition where we get to talk with the people who made it possible. And finally, we have a recap on the current video production students who attended this year's Cannes Film Festival. Find out about these activities and more on this episode of Wolf Tracks. Hello everybody, I'm Austin Fritz and welcome to another episode of Wolf Tracks. To think how far seniors can progress in their education and be this close to graduating. But in order to achieve that, even they had to start out small, like preschool for example. I wonder if any of them were wee wolves. In case you're wondering, wee wolves are young children that attend South Kitsap's preschool program. So learn more about them in this Wolf Track story made by Teron Bell and Kinsey Hunter.
How are you? Hello. How are you? Hello. How are you? How are you this morning?
Wee Wolves is a great program at SKHS, part of the Family and Consumer Sciences, that reaches out to the students of SK interested in pursuing a career in early childhood education or any other career that involves working with children.
The Wee Wolf program is designed to teach high school students how to work with children. They have to take a prerequisite class, and when they get out of that class, they're prepared because they've learned a lot about child development. And then this is an opportunity for them to put their knowledge with experience working in the preschool.
Every day besides Friday, there is preschool. The high school students in the class split into two groups. One group stays in the classroom to do bookwork, plan activities for the preschoolers, and evaluate previous activities. The other group goes into the preschool to teach the kids. There is one high schooler that is head teacher, and the rest help out wherever they are needed.
My favorite part about preschool is probably just how they brighten my day every day, and they make it more entertaining.
Wee Wolves is not only a great opportunity for high school students, but is extremely beneficial to children ages 3 through 5. When the kids come to school, they follow a strict learning curriculum that helps prepare them for kindergarten. They do things such as counting,
10, 20, 30, 40, 50.
Rhyming,
Sing a song, sing a silly song.
working with letters,
What's this? G. Good job.
reading, and much more.
Playing trains. I learn stuff and I love learning stuff.
Every day they do a planned activity planned by the high school students.
We make things.
Oh yeah, what'd you make today?
George Washington's tree.
The kids also get some time to free play, which helps a lot with their social skills.
I'm gonna make an E for Emily.
I have an E.
All in all, the Wee Wolf program is designed to prepare high school students to work with kids and also to prepare the preschool students for kindergarten. If you are a high schooler interested in this class, it's called Early Childhood Education. And if you or anyone you know has a child ages 3 to 5, give the high school a call and sign them up this coming up fall.
So you see, some little kids start their education where they'll end it. Along with that, they'll all need to learn some respect in order to become a more responsible adult. On that note, some kids are still using their phones during class time, which leads into our next Wolf Track story made by Tanner Babcock and Ellen Gordon. Check it out.
Yeah, I do.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I do. No.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I do.
No.
Of course I do.
Duh.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Did you know that 70% of the world's population owns a cell phone? And of that 70%, 80% of teens in the world also own a cell phone. On average, a teen will send about 3,000 text messages a month. And with all those text messages, where does someone find the time to send them all? For years, students have been getting their cell phones confiscated for inappropriate use during school hours. And what about the students who don't have the luxury of a cell phone? When they see someone on a phone during class, is it bothersome or even a distraction?
A little bit, yeah. It's kind of a distraction.
It can be, yes, especially if they're right next to me and they're just sitting there with a phone on and texting and such.
It's their education they're wasting.
Are teachers overreacting? Do they make too big of a deal when they confiscate phones? Is it necessary that they do?
Yeah, I think it's necessary because we shouldn't be using our phone.
No, we shouldn't be using our cell phones in class anyways.
Sometimes they're overacting, but sometimes, like, if we're learning something important, then I shouldn't be using my phone.
But what do teachers think? What do they do about phones in class?
I try to really just remind students that it is a school policy and that they are expected to follow the school rules.
How cell phones, in a sense, are an addiction. That you should be able to put your phone in your pocket or your backpack and leave it alone for a period of time and have the self-discipline to be able to do that.
With all of the phones that students have, how many are ended up confiscated?
2 to 3 cell phones per week.
Sometimes every day that I teach.
Usually I end up taking a phone away at a minimum of once a week.
I ask them, they put it away and they don't take it out again, and I think that's because students come in with the expectation knowing that I will put it away for them or take it away and then throw it out the window.
If I were to try and do something about every single time I saw a cell phone, I would be going crazy and I wouldn't have time to teach my class.
So the debate rages on. Cell phones, they may never get along with teachers. They have positive features, like ease of communication and social networking, but they also have negative features, disruption of education and loss of physical interaction and communication skills. Though they cause conflict on either side, one thing's for sure, cell phones aren't going anywhere anytime soon.
So to all high school students, please limit your electronics during class time. Now, all high school students know that if they study hard, they could get good grades on quizzes, tests, and even common assessments. But in this Wolf Track story made by Teron Bell, the SK Knowledge Bowl proves that learning can be also used for fun.
Have you ever wanted to play on Jeopardy or test your random knowledge? The Knowledge Bowl is the place for you.
Alright, so Knowledge Bowl is a group that we do after school, and it's based on random knowledge questions. It's kind of like Jeopardy-ish, sort of. And yeah, we have fun. We eat candy.
Knowledge Bowl has been in South Kitsap's extracurricular program for 3 years now, and they travel to various competitions throughout the year to put their skills to the test.
Well, we used to have Knowledge Bowl for many years up until a point where we cut it because of funding, but then the Olympic ESD wanted us back and offered a stipend, so Ms. Sternsdorfer and I took it on, and now we're chasing CK, trying to go to state.
We recently competed in Port Townsend, and we had 3 teams that did absolutely brilliantly, with one of our teams breaking into that top 10 number. We are several teams behind CK, and that is our hope, is to demolish them and go to state this year.
Knowledge Bowl practices Tuesday through Friday at 2:15 after school, and the practices usually consist of trivia questions,
two answers, mouse souls,
quizzes, and candy. Knowledge Bowl has some returning members along with some rookies.
Miss Sternstroker is my PAC teacher, and she encouraged me to join Knowledge Bowl, and it's a really great after-school activity. The people are great, the food's great, and we learn a lot of new stuff.
Knowledge Bowl is a good way to test your knowledge and even learn some interesting information. The team works really hard to take on the competition, and this year's team is especially ambitious. Rest assured, this team is well representing the school and the community.
So no matter how smart you are, the SK Knowledge Bowl can be a lot of fun for all ages. As you can see, I am now standing in front of the SK pool. Many SK sports involving water take place here, like swimming, diving, and even a cool sub competition. Here's a story about that exact event made by Matt Esteron.
The CAD class of the South Kitsap High School came down to the pool to test their submarines before the high school state competition.
This is Engineering CAD 2. This try I learned how to mainly build a submarine, as well as learn how to solder, plan things out, and yeah, that's pretty much it for this class.
This is the Engineering 2 class, CAD oriented. Right at the moment we're doing sea trials of our little submarine designs. We've been working on these for the last 5 weeks, finally getting a chance to get them wet.
These students have been working hard ever since the beginning of the trimester, building and designing their own submarines from just PVC pipes. A full 3 months and only simple PVC pipes to float.
These students are learning how to design and build underwater vehicles. They've done all the work themselves, from the design to the soldering and now to the testing. Lots of our students have not touched tools or have not had the opportunity to design various things on their own. It's mostly bookwork, and so this is preparing them for things that are happening in the real world. They're using this to really be creative and see what they can do, and then see those applications that they're learning in books in real life.
This is an exercise in STEM-oriented skills, science, technology, engineering, mathematics. It's put on by PSNS and Keyport. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. They come in with everything we need.
This is what controls the submarine, so a little control box. Up, down, left, right, backwards, so on. And this camera is how we see everything underwater. Right now in the pool, we're picking up these small things, pick them up, and drop them in a bucket underwater. And we get little prizes for doing it.
After the class decides on the 2 best subs, those 2 teams will attend the Whatever Sings Your Sub competition involving high schools from the North, South, Bremerton, and Central Kitsap areas. This is a one-time chance for most of these students.
Yes, on June 2nd will be the regional competitions, and all of the high schools in the Kitsap region will be participating at Olympic High School.
I think the best part is seeing the result in the water. So you do all this work, you go through the troubleshooting, you have trials and tribulations on building it, but when it works in the water and you're able to retrieve something, and then you can say, I did that, I think that's the best reward.
To find out what happens next, go to the Olympic High School pool to watch the Whatever Sings Your Sub challenge.
So check out many high school events, including the sub competition here at South Kitsap. Now, all high school students have careers planned for their future. There's engineering, journalism, acting, rapping, building. Did I say rapping? We've got a behind-the-scenes look at Campana, aka Teron Bell, who desires to become a rap artist in his future. So listen as he explains in this Wolf Track story made by Cody Downey.
And then that right there is where you come in and rap.
Hi, my name is Teron Bell. I'm also known as Campana. I'm a senior in high school and I rap.
Heartbeats, concrete, complete minds, all that nonsense. It's paused before time in a hospice. I'm sick, under the weather, volleyball like fashion because I'm a trendsetter, patient waiting for ovations. I'm sure that they are coming, fulfilling obligations, man, this music game is one thing.
I started to write lyrics in about 8th or 9th grade, and it was just for fun at first. You know, something to do to pass time. And then when I actually got the chance to record in a real studio, I started thinking, hey, music could be what I do for the rest of my life. Last year is when I really started taking things serious about rapping. It's a difficult thing getting into the rap game. especially when you're known as a nobody in the industry. You know what I mean?
Hey, the boys will always see the best of me. My own style with my own secret recipe. I'm out balling all the competition. Even deaf people seem to tune in and listen. Trampoline man, you always see me happy. Beat you saying that I'm lame. I know you're filled with that hypocrisy. I make beats.
You have to have a producer, someone to make your beats, place to record. Because if you don't have all that, you aren't going to make it.
My role in TJ's music right now is composing the beats that he raps over, do his recording, mixing, and mastering. And so yeah, I'm pretty much there from the beginning to the end. The kid's definitely got ambition, like more than anything. He's probably the most ambitious person I know.
I don't give up. I keep working towards my goals.
But it's like whoa, whoa. Everywhere I go, soon to go pro, having sold out shows. Raise some hands high. Yeah, raise some hands high. Yeah, raise some hands high.
This is what I want to do for the rest of my life. This is a dream I'm not giving up until I make it, and I will make it. Everybody, remember the name Campana, because it will be big one day.
Listen, check this out.
All I can say is good luck on making your dreams as a true rap artist a reality. Now back to Wolf Tracks. I am outside the SK Theater, where many SK actors show off their talents as many characters represented throughout the world. In fact, these SK actors often portray icons from popular culture, like the characters of Charlie Brown, for example. So check this Wolf Track story made by Brian Glinsky and Blake McMeekin as they explain how the SK actors made You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown a reality.
This is the SK Theater, home of many stage productions and countless performances throughout the year. And this, as we all know, is Charlie Brown, a very different setting than the theater. One might be confused as to what they have in common. That is until you hear about the new musical, You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. But how can a comic book character be converted into a play? A musical, no less. Luckily, Miss Emmons is here to clear that up.
Charlie Brown's a little different than most musicals in that the plot isn't really the key. It is like reading a series of comics. Some of the ideas are connected, like there's a whole series of little sketches about Valentine's Day, and some of them are completely disconnected, just like a weekly comic. So it's more like watching skits and songs than it is like watching a through line on a play.
Although the play takes a different jump, the same iconic features such as Snoopy's doghouse, Lucy's psychiatric booth, and the infamous Red Baron all are incorporated into the play. But obviously, when a full orchestra soundtrack and adult-sized actors, difficulties do occur when they portray the character.
I'd have to say the difficulties for playing such an iconic comic book character is learning to be like a dog, because to begin with, I'm not really a dog person. Their emotions are like, instead of being on the 1 percentile, it's the 100 millionth percentile of overreacting. And
I guess I'd have to say getting in the mindset of Charlie Brown, because he's tried so hard and everyone just gets dogs on him all the time. But a lot of times my lines in the play are, you get the aw from the crowd, like when the lights go out and he's just standing there by himself.
For us, it was probably the set, because you want your students to look like little kids. And since our Charlie Brown is like 6'5", everything had to be big.
Maintaining such a cartoonish character and adding a human quality seems to be the biggest difficulty and difference in You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. Despite all the human changes, keeping the theme of Charlie Brown remains their top priority, and they seem rather confident.
So it's the same Charlie Brown, it's just the concept of, the storyline of the musical is different from the comic book. So if you're expecting just like little silly quirks, you'll get that, but in a twang of the musical.
Virtually the exact same thing as the Charlie Brown special, You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. And we had a 3-year-old there that loved it just as much as the grandparents in the audience.
Despite the unconventional cast and setting, Charlie Brown remains the same oddball character we all love, and the SK Theater has done a great job in representing him and all of the Peanuts.
So to all the SK actors, great job on portraying all the characters of Charlie Brown. Well, we are down to our last Wolf Track story. Yeah, I know. As you can see, many of us video production students create Wolf Track stories. But that's not all we do. In this story made by myself, this shows how us video production students have a great skill in movie making for the Cannes Film Festival, one of our very own video production events. So here's a recap. Action! On Friday, March 23rd, 2012, Cameron Burke and Jessica J. Townsend hosted the 4th Annual Cannes Film Festival. It's an event where video production students who normally concentrate on journalism have a chance to make movies. This year, the theme was urban legends.
Boo! Ah! Who are you? Where am I?
But making their own movie for the CFF was not easy.
The hardest part about CFF is definitely the planning, because once you get your script done, which also takes a while,
getting everyone's schedules and working around it and trying to get everyone to shoot on one day.
The audio. I hate audio, and it is very temperamental, and you have to be precise about how you hold the microphone or where you put it.
All the competitors had 1 month to produce, direct, and edit their movies.
Kim, I gotta go. The movie starts in 20 minutes.
You still have 20 more minutes after that because there's 20 minutes worth of previews.
So what motivated the students to compete in the CFF?
Well, I think first of all, we saw a few of last year's CFFs and past CFFs, and I think we were pretty amazed with some of the products.
The fact that it was about a movie. I've always wanted to make a movie, and I thought this was my chance.
I sort of just wanted to do something that would kind of show off my abilities. Hopefully, they come across as good and not poor.
The CFF had a lot of fun.
It's the money!
Excitement. Comedy.
Kelsey, that blade does not match that shirt.
And suspense.
Oh my god!
Overall, they had a great time.
CFF can be fun at times, but it can also make you want to pull your hair out.
Yes, we've had such a blast.
I have had a blast making my CFF.
Finishing it was probably the most fun I've ever had in video, so that's good.
Admission to the CFF required cans of food. Otherwise, they wouldn't call it the Canned Film Festival.
Hey! Yeah, what's up, dudes?
At the end of the show, the judges had to decide the winner. The runners-up were juniors Mike Brothers and Ellen Gordon. But the winner... For the first time in CFF history, there was a tie for the winner. Cody Downey and Marco Seguero ended up in a spectacular first place. After the winners were announced, I interviewed some of the competitors for the CFF.
Nice job!
Thank you.
I'm going to Disneyland!
I'm going with him! Yay!
Hey, Matt.
Nice job.
Nice job as a goon, buddy.
Oh, thank you.
I lost, so, whatever.
It was fantastic anyways.
It's just a competition.
It's just a competition, but that doesn't matter at all.
Woo!
Yeah!
You did a great job with Mike.
Thank you so much, runner-up. Woo!
Yeah, nice job.
If you missed this year's CFF, you could watch it next year. Whether or not making CFF history, you will always have a great time being a part of it. So congratulations to Cody Downey and Marco Seguero for making CFF history, and to the rest of the producers who have competed. And a big thank you to South Kitsap for sending 700 pounds of canned food to the South Kitsap helpline. If you missed one or more of these Wolf Track stories, or if you just want to watch them again, there's a new way to watch them. You can watch them online at www.skitsap.wetnet.edu. Then once you're there, click the link above the TV icon, and then you are instantly connected to the world of SK with Wolf Tracks Online. So that has been this episode of Wolf Tracks. I'm Austin Fritz, and thanks for watching.